How do you feel about that story that came out with the Farley brothers? Did you see that?
No, I didn't. You're going to fill me in on this.
The Farley, the headline, and again, I don't know what this fake news. Farley family blames Bob Saget for their brother's death.
That's not true.
Dan, of course, going on with the practical joke by laughing.
Are you making up this story?
Yeah, I was trying to, and then Dan went.
Oh, that was a good one. Okay, I feel better now. I thought for a minute you said the Farley brothers, and I thought I had something to do with the
you don't know Gummo?
Why the sequel to Dumb and Dumber didn't work?
You don't know Gummo Farley?
Say what?
Gummo Farley. You never heard of him?
Oh, I loved him. And Zeppo Farley was the best.
Do you realize that me and Gilbert...
They had a great dad.
Me and Gilbert were talking about it. Me and Gilbert were talking about this. By the way, the Farley brothers have never said... The Farley brothers have never said that publicly.
No. You can't really blame me for anything because I always escape in the night. But
you do, man. Were you at the premiere for Dirty Work?
Yeah. Well, actually, Norm and I, the night Dirty Work opened in theaters in L.A. Yeah. First thing, this is Artie Lange's show, and I'm on it. It's Bob Saget.
We handled that before.
Oh, you did it already?
Yeah, we have our own Ed McMahon.
Oh, you have a whole. You have a whole promotional thing that just sounds like some hot intro.
I said, ladies and gentlemen. You know him from Growing Pains.
That's right.
Bob Saget.
I'm having them every time I make a crap.
Do you ever see Kirk Cameron at the Kid Show Award? Have you been slimed?
Actually, I have not been slimed, but it drips out of my penis.
Green stuff.
And it burns through metal.
You're like Bill Shatner.
Yeah, my semen is like alien acid.
I want to say, you know what? I'll let you talk first.
First thing, I
want to do the intro.
Okay.
All right, listen. In 1997, I met Bob Saget at his offices in Santa Monica. I did what was called a screen test. Norm Macdonald didn't even get off the couch. But Bob was so nice, and he basically helped me through the whole thing. I think basically because he envisioned Stephen Baldwin doing the jokes in the script, who was the first choice of the studio. Luckily, Chris Penn had an issue. So I was their first choice. And Saget was my biggest champion. And then they said, listen, you probably got the part, but let's go out and try to get to know each other. Because it's like going to boot camp. It's a buddy comedy. So me, Norm, and Saget, we go to a pool hall in Hollywood. It's not there anymore. And they know that I had been to jail for possession of cocaine at L.A. County. I didn't tell you that the guy in the cell next to me had taught me how to make a pussy out of toilet paper. And you'll never go back to a real pussy, man. It don't fucking complain. It don't take your money. It don't fuck your friend.
So this is what this happened.
Wait, we're going to add you laughing to this.
Was Paul Rodriguez at the pool hall?
That's what it is, bud. Comedy is an exaggeration.
No, so you're telling me that the guy at the pool hall told you that toilet paper wadded up is better than pussy?
Paul Rodriguez sold me coke is what I'm trying to get to. No. The man's got to make a living. No, I went. You guys knew that. This is how nice Saget and Norm are. You guys knew that I'd been in jail for possession of cocaine, and you knew that I had
hell yeah.
And I told you I was clean, everything's fine.
Right, and I had tried it years before and was hoping to get back into it through you.
Right, well listen, I mean I got better shit than you did probably. What could Coulier get?
Mine was terrible. Look how thin I was.
Did Coulier ever try to score coke as Popeye?
No, no, there was no smoking coke back in the day. We didn't live like smart people in the hood. We would just put it up our little bouffant noses.
Are you telling me the Olsen twins are the only people who did blow on that set?
I don't think that they could touch it. They were 9 when they went off the air.
By the way, Saget, when the Olsen twins are in town, it's like the president with Saget. He said, we were going to have lunch, and he said, listen, somebody's in town again. I can't tell you who it is, but I have to go see them. They summoned me. I said, what do you mean? I go, can I come? Like, no.
I didn't say they summoned me.
They don't know. Well, that's what it seemed like. I mean, Jesus. She fit you in between who? Heath Ledger and... Anyway.
That's sweet. That's really sweet.
By the way,
I can't condemn you, though, because you're the man that's come through the middle of the groundhog hole and out.
I'm trying to tell you something. I'm trying to compliment
First thing, you're invincible is what I love about you.
You know, I survived. You're right, I survived.
You survived weekly.
Blow? A Saget-directed film? No, I'm trying to compliment you. Listen, so I thought I met the nicest person in the world when I met Bob Saget, but I didn't. His parents were the nice. By the way,
that's actually true. They loved you, Artie.
Oh my God, were they sweet people? Yeah,
and you know you're responsible for their death.
That's what the Farley brothers say. And listen. I'm trying to say through all these stupid jokes that Bob Saget might be the most supportive guy I've ever known in show business. He's never not had a kind word, warm, right before he tells me I suck minority cock. But that's his way of complimenting it. He's just the sweetest guy. He makes sure and it's you could tell it's genuine. And my God, your parents might have been. I mean, your father was so nice to me. It was like
right, but my dad was like Willie Loman, so he was just nice because he was a total loser.
Well, thank God you're not Biff. Thank God Biff got on Full House.
My dad was not a loser, and Biff is the best.
Was it? Come on, stop saying that about your father.
The best is Lenny and Mice and Men. That's the best.
Yeah,
but my dad was a spectacular guy. Could have been a comedian and just loved you. You're the kind of guy that everybody loves.
Yeah, well,
and that's why everybody roots for you, and everybody gets pissed off and upset.
Yeah.
And I'm always trying to reach out to you, but you change your number more than people change their returnable bottles. I've never seen anything like it. Let me run these down to the 7-Eleven and get a nickel a bottle. You got a fucking different number every 10 minutes.
Well, do you want to have my number, or do you want me to be?
I got your number, but I got your sister's number too. But I'm not calling her because I'd rather just get a hold of you somehow.
You're the only.
I got sources now to find out what's really up with you.
Okay, well, don't call my sister too often, unless you want to marry her.
But it's just when I got that toilet paper balled up because there's nothing better than.
By the way, my sister, age appropriate. Why don't you marry her?
No, but I got a woman now. She's a woman. I'm finally dating a woman, Artie.
Oh yeah, no. What do you mean?
She's a woman. She's 37.
Well, that's the thing. I also told Bob that his daughters were nice, and then he said that's my girlfriend. About 14.
No, but that's when they're all doing a totem pole on top of each other.
Yeah. By the way, I can tell
they look real tall, like the Three Stooges or the Marx Brothers when they're trying to sneak into a room with a blanket over them.
Listen, so me and Gilbert are talking about the Marx Brothers. Okay, Groucho was a womanizing smoker. Harpo made fun of moots, and of course, Chico was anti-Italian. The only guy in the Marx Brothers who could get a development deal is Zeppo right now.
Right, and all he got is a crappy lighter.
How was he so unfunny in that family?
Well, he was supposed to be the ingenue of the thing. He was the Peter Lawford of the Rat Pack.
That's the one you want to be.
Yeah, I guess if you want to get laid or something, or get in the White House.
You want to be in a Malibu guest house shitting your pants from bad coke.
First thing, let's back it up a second. You
won't let me introduce you.
How come you sound so good?
Because everything you read about me is bullshit. It's all a hustle.
Well, okay. So what do you take? Caffeine, coffee? What helps you? You were in the toilet before I called.
I'm working. I'm working on a character, the most liberal character in the world, Ashley Judd Apatow, and we're gonna.
That's a good title. That's funny.
Now,
have you been shooting that show more? You're so good on it.
Yeah. Well, you
had a hiatus. You had to take a hiatus.
I said hiatus.
You said that right into my butthole once. It made me happy.
Saget got a lot of pussy, man. Did you fuck the chick in Dirty Work? Did you fuck her?
No.
By the way,
I was very, very lonely.
Whose nickname?
I was divorced. I was not divorced.
You were getting a divorce, which seemed very pleasant. The nickname we gave her was in my trailer, Howard.
Oh God.
No, and she had a boyfriend. So
I know, he's very sweet. She walked up to Jack Warden and said, "Hey, Jack, my boyfriend wrote things to in Denver when you're dead." And Jack Warden looked at her like, "Your boyfriend wrote one of the 50,000 movies I've been in? Wow. Can I get back to my sandwich?"
I actually saw her recently, and she's has a kid, and she's happy, and she's sweet.
She was beautiful. She was a beautiful girl, and a bit of a.
Well, she was good in the movie. The movie worked. You were hilarious in the movie.
I don't remember her in the film.
Butthole.
I don't remember her in the film.
You remember the film.
I don't remember her in the film. Now, were you responsible for the prosthetics of Farley's nose?
No.
Let me tell you something. Again, I can't get a compliment
for,
out because I you know how I feel about your dad. Saget, people love that movie. They love it.
And it has actually become more of a cult favorite. And I'm getting out of director jail. I'm directing in July a movie.
That's what I mean. You know what pisses me off? How come after watching Dirty Work, first of all, we made a rated R film, and then of course
and then they cut 6 minutes out, especially with the donuts on the dick.
I know that's the reason Chevy Chase did the movie, which lucky there. But
nothing can help us but turn into Rickles at some point.
Oh my God!
That's why Chevy Chase did the movie. Lucky there. I was Carson.
do you realize that Don Rickles? It's that Dirty Work's the only movie where he really does him. He's never himself.
By the way, I got in trouble because I fought for that, and I said, let's roll. Just roll on him and let him make it up.
Right.
And everybody got mad at me. The producer got mad at me. They said, you've used all the film stock budget, which of course doesn't. There is no more film stock.
We do.
You used the week's film budget just on Don Rickles, and then
that's what the movie should have been, by the way.
The producer said to the editor, "Do you think we could save this?" And I'm like, "I know what I'm doing. I can edit it at home." But
by the way, everybody who's worked on Spielberg sets, they always hear him saying, "I know what I'm doing."
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
You should have gotten a bunch of comedies
Jimmy
after
Spielberg.
that. You should have gotten a bunch of comedies after that because. The only thing you don't direct well is when I moon the people. In the first shot, we go way past the parking meter. And then in the close-up, we hit the parking meter.
I actually think it was perfect because I made sure that you had no TP coming out of your butt. You did not have a hemorrhoid. There was no black residue around your butt crack. There was a little bit of a hairy ass. It was cut really quickly. We pulled up fast. You were spectacular.
Give me your thoughts on Bill O'Reilly.
To what?
Bill O'Reilly. Your thoughts on Bill O'Reilly, the scandal where supposedly he's been rude to women?
Yeah, that's a shock, isn't it? I can't believe what's going on in the world because it's all been so perfect up till now.
Now, did you vote for Trump?
Oh, yeah. I was first in line. I voted to take it off of my American Express dossier as a hotel possibility. I just want to see the signs come down and have Intercontinental go up.
You want to direct that movie, you better say no.
I want to play him. I want to play his ball hair.
I think you'd be good at that.
Yeah.
Now, so I just recently...
They actually call his penis a trumpet. Is that disrespectful if it's the president?
How about hookers have changed Blumpkins to Trumpkins in New York?
They should have a pissing contest with him. When they would say to him, I don't want to get in a pissing contest with you, he actually can follow through.
Do you know why you can't get laughs out of Saget? Because he's always thinking of the next joke he's going to make.
That is not true. That is not true.
You're like a Friars Club audience. You're like a Freddie Roman. That's funny. That's funny.
Dear Artie, I am in the moment, and other people do that, but I am with you exactly at that moment.
No, again, my mother...
I'm sorry, I'm thinking of something I'm about to say. I'm sorry.
My mother and
I can't talk to you right now. I'm thinking of something
like I'll be at fucking the Yaya Hut. What are you doing on the road? You got $1 billion. What are you doing?
I'm getting a special together because I have a whole lot of new stuff. I'm talking about my mom passing away. That's a big laugh.
Again, so your mom. I know she was probably so a wonderful life. Probably very old, right?
Yeah, she was 89. I could have used her a little longer.
Yeah, I know. They were such they're such great people. And you know what else was great? The guy who was involved, the producer was involved with the money. Whoever he was very nice too. What was that guy's name?
Which guy?
The guy who told us that we were running late all the time. What was his name?
Martin?
Yeah, Martin. He was.
Yeah, he was a big fan of mine.
Yeah, him and your parents were very sweet.
But I don't know how he could be a big fan of mine because he actually worked with one of the best filmmakers of all time, Sidney Lumet. So he was the production manager
for what? Dog Day Afternoon?
Yeah, everything. He worked on 20 Sidney Lumet.
Well, he's one of those guys.
And all of a sudden, he had Bob Saget on the set doing dirty work. So
well, let me tell you something. Is he one of those guys who, he says, I work with Sidney Lumet, and then the only one was that Sharon Stone movie or something? None of the good ones.
Right.
None of the good
ones.
No,
he did a few of them. I saw his name
about
on a couple. I actually went back and photoshopped a bunch of movies and took his name off of them.
Don Rickles, by the way, meets Saget. We're up in Toronto at 6 a.m, and Rickles sees... What are you doing? Bob, nice to meet you. Listen, I saw Martin Scorsese. I said, Marty, Bob Saget's directing a film. The man grabbed his chest. What are you doing? What are you doing in Canada? You're a Jew. Go back to that show. A cat shit himself. You get $1 million.
Right. He goes on Leno, and Leno goes, "How's it going?" He says, "I'm doing great." He goes, I did Casino with Martin Scorsese. I'm doing Dirty Work with Bob Saget. My career's doing great.
Well, me and Norm are the only two people who've ever seen Jack Warden get acting notes because Saget gave them to him.
I did, and he was at the point where he was just starting to get older.
Jack
He was
Warden,
starting to get older.
He's amazing
and,
in the movie. Jack Warden said, "Is this a Carrot Top film?" No.
You know, Norm has a sequel that he wants to do. I've come up with the premise for Dirty Work 2. I already know what it is.
What is it?
Well,
I hope it's Cindy Lumet directs.
The beginning of it, you might not like the punchline. Norm and I went to lunch like 2 years ago. It says Dirty Work 2, in parentheses underneath it, keep Artie alive.
Well, at least I'm in the title. Cut down on the ham, Sam?
Well, the idea being that you need the operation that Pops needed.
Oh, great.
And so...
Can I sit in the bed the whole shoot?
So we get you... We got to get you a heart. We got to get you a heart. So... Right. Norm goes out doing more dastardly deeds. And,
how about you cut to Norm in the woods cutting out a pig's heart?
It's just Norm's expression of grunting and have you ever seen this bit about having a gerbil up his ass? Have you ever seen that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lovely thing to watch. His face is so gracious and beautiful.
But Wendy Liebman is suing him because that's her bit. Wendy Liebman sues over gerbil and ass pit.
By the way, I don't think you'll disagree with me. He is one of the funniest people on this planet.
Who? Wendy Liebman?
Norm Macdonald, Wendy Liebman.
Norm is the smartest and funniest. Absolutely.
I would say that is true. I cannot watch him without going, holy shit, I don't know what's going to happen next.
No, I know. He's dangerous. That's what comics are nowadays. They're not
you have an ability to be honest in a way that is the reason you're here.
Well, let's get to that. You could play me in the next film. By the way, I'm looking at a picture of you. What the hell happened?
How am I going to do it?
Did you get stung by a bee?
Is that what it's about?
You look very heavy.
I get what?
You look
picture?
fat. You look like you're not Bob Saget.
In what picture?
I'm looking at a picture from January 18, 2017. You're at the People's Choice Awards. Or I call them the PCAs.
Well, it depends on how you film me. Sometimes I look bloated.
Why did you do look bloated here?
Yeah, I look pretty thin otherwise. You know what you look like?
You look like the chick who was married to Paul Newman when she had cancer to the steroids.
Yeah, that's what I look like. No, I'm looking pretty good.
You look like Barbara Hershey now.
Look at her. That's what I have in my ass right now. But if you look at a picture of me on whatever I post, I look like I look. So
my favorite joke.
I go up and down. You know, I get a little bloaty sometimes.
That's what Antonio Banderas says.
Absolutely.
Sag goes up and down.
Sounds to me
He's
like
a puss in the boots.
You're thinking of the punchline before I am. It sounds like.
No, I'm doing a line before I'm.
But by the way,
what?
Your acting on that show is just fantastic.
Well, thank you.
It's very real.
Well, thank you very much.
Now, all your listeners care about you. They all want you alive. They're all rooting for you.
All four of them.
No, you got a lot of people.
You're not going to see a bump in Twitter followers after this. But that's why you do it.
I'm not going to post it because you told me I look fat, so why the fuck would I post it?
See, Saget keeps his word. Saget is an actual, unless this is...
I have actually lost weight. I lost 2 ounces before when I...
Oh, you know what? You know what? I'm looking at Frank Caliendo doing you.
That's what it was. I lost 4 ounces in a girl's mouth a couple weeks ago.
Yes! And Richard Simmons found it.
I am...
Do you still got
I have nothing but affection for you, and remember when it was very funny. You and the Gilbert,
right?
You were very good in the Gilbert Gottfried documentary.
I haven't seen it yet.
I watched it. It was sent to me by the filmmaker. We'll promote it because they're gonna do a whole Tribeca Film Festival.
Are you involved with it?
I did what you did. I did a little interview thing, but you're in it heavier than I am because you look so much better than I do. Because I'm so bloated.
Are you on steroids?
No, I look like Shelley Winters as she floats to the top of the Poseidon Adventure.
You look like Jonathan Winters.
Yeah, I look like...
You're as funny as Shelley Winters.
I look like the entire Farley family put together.
I want to try to do a punchline. You know the fattest thing in Farley's family? John Farley's cock. That's what I heard. That's what I heard. Remember when Arsenio Hall used my trailer?
By the way, let's talk serious for 1 second. How sad is it that we lost Chris Farley? And
that was like 15 years ago.
Right. We could be sad about it.
You know what's? You know what? I hope the whore that fucking fucked him over is dead.
I don't know about that. There's always one, though, isn't there?
There's Belushi and him. How about Belushi and him? Same age, 33. Both SNL legends. Both slightly overweight.
Right. Sam Kinison had a truck hit him full on. So.
Now, do you think Sam Kinison could do his act today? Particularly the Rock Hudson bit?
Well, the way the shape he's in right now, no.
Do you remember what comics used to say? I mean, Sam Kinison had a bit where...
I got him his first spot at the Comedy Store. I met him in Houston, and he had been banned from a club called the Comedy Works, and what he did was he chained himself. He said, Saget, I want to talk to you. He come to
story
see
is
me
such
at
bullshit.
Club there. No, this is the truth. He chained himself.
I met Chaplin at Chasen's once. I get that.
Do you want me not to finish? I don't have to tell the story.
No, go ahead. Well, you tell it anyway. Go ahead.
No, I won't. It's about.
No,
okay.
I want to hear this.
This isn't match game. It's you and me talking.
So Sam McKenna's chained to what?
He chained himself to a telephone pole because they wouldn't let him work there because he was doing a lot of Jesus material and talking about trying to analyze the faith healing, dog and pony.
He had the best Jesus stuff, like the Good Friday stuff. Unbelievable.
It was unbelievable. And he put himself in a diaper and a crown of thorns and said that he was being persecuted like Jesus.
Rick, you're kidding me. This was before he was famous?
It was in the Houston Chronicle. This is before he came to L.A. It was right after he finished doing the shows.
George Foreman has the same story.
Yeah, and he had a grill strapped to his head.
See, there you go.
Sam came out to L.A. Rodney saw him. Mitzi saw him. And the rest was, he was just...
Now, did Paulie think he was ready for the store? Paulie saw me do a set at the Belly Room. I'm a regular on Mad TV. I'm a regular in every club in New York. And Paulie sees me and goes, "You're not ready for the store, buddy."
Oh, my God. Is that true?
That's true. He goes, "Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy." Did you see his last special?
I got to work there for nothing for 10 years while everybody went off and got a show. And I just sat there.
No, but you got off. You had 2 with #1 shows at once.
It took 10 years.
No,
I worked for
sorry. What do you want to pull into town and go, "Hey, what lot do I go to?"
It took 13 years for me to get 2 shows, and then my sister died, and I got divorced, and a bunch of shit happened.
You've been through a lot of tragedy. You really have. I mean,
that's the only thing that gets people to like me.
What's a bigger tragedy, the death in your family or Chris Penn saying no to Dirty Work?
I want to make Mike Pence watch Dirty Work. I think they need to show it at the White House.
Let me tell you something. Mike Pence.
You know what their favorite scene will be is when you're pissing off a building.
Yeah. You bastard. My favorite is Farley with the take, "You bastard."
Let's just tell the people because people will be listening to this. You do have people that love you, Artie.
Yeah,
and,
like who?
Yeah, I don't know.
Paulie Shore ain't one of them.
Jimmy. His name is Jimmy. But there's
Fallon or Kimmel?
There's a scene which is an old practical joke, which was put in the movie, written by Norm and Frank Sebastiano and Fred Wolf. And the scene was these frat guys that we were harassing, and you guys wanted to fuck them over. And so what you did was you took a box of donuts.
Right.
And you deliver it to the house. The guys open up the donuts. They're loving the donuts, which is funny in itself.
Absolutely.
And then they get to the bottom, and it's a Polaroid picture, and you and Norm are naked with donuts on your dick.
Yeah.
So they've been eating your dick.
And that's the first thing we shot.
Artie, this is my directing talent. I gave you 3 donuts, and I gave Norm 6 donuts. And the way to do it, we had no money. It was dowels, wooden dowels, strapped with flesh to your...
Yeah. First of all, no money. You had the budget in your pocket.
I actually loved taking that picture, by the way.
So it was donut, and Chevy Chase loved that joke. But why 3 donuts? They were thick though, and they were double chocolate.
No, well, that's because you'd had them inside Norm.
You know what? Let me tell you something. The worst thing that Frank, Fred, and Norm wrote in that script that got cut out was directed by Todd Phillips. Now you also simultaneously Half Baked was being filmed in Toronto.
Right, and, so I went over and did a cameo
by the same producer, and and you went over. And what is your line? It's one of the biggest laughs in the history of movies.
Yeah, well, not in the history of movies.
It is.
I think as God is my witness, I'm never going to go hungry again is the biggest laugh.
Frankly, my damn...
I stood up and Dave Chappelle said he's hooked on marijuana, and I said marijuana's not a drug. I used to suck dick for coke. And then the comedian Dave Edwards, was it Edwards or Edmonds? Do you remember?
I have no idea.
He goes, I've seen him. That's funny. That's funny.
Was he African-American?
Yes, he was.
Now, we both we shot those films. The great thing about Toronto is my favorite story ever is we dirtied up a street to look like New York. We went to lunch and Toronto cleaned the street.
Yeah.
We got back. It wasn't dirty like New York.
No, the sweetest thing was I have photos. I was just looking through the other day because I've been kind of going through. I'm doing another scleroderma benefit because one of my sisters died from that. So we raised $40 million in 25 years.
Explain what that is.
And we're going to make the sequel to Dirty Work with the money we raised.
Well, how much now? Did Jerry Lewis tell you how to clean that money?
You take the money and you don't give it to Jerry.
Here's what you do.
You don't give money to a guy that goes flagging. You don't.
Guy directed
cure disease with the guy that goes, "Hey, lady."
Guy directed like $80 billion for sprained ankles.
But what happened was
now, what is that disease? It's a skin disease.
It is a hardening of the skin, which I like to have happen personally. But
my sister was dating a guy who had a blackening of the skin, and we got rid of him.
Well, that's upsetting thing to get. There's an opposite. This disease is too much collagen. It affects mostly women. And it's a tragic thing.
It's terrible.
Robin Williams has did the benefit 7 times.
Well, that worked out for him.
Oh, God.
Now, did you know Robin? Did you know Robin?
That's a big fucking loss. Yeah, he was a friend of mine. That's one of the...
How about divorce? How evil is it? Everybody's got a divorce. The guy who did Mork and Mindy was happy every fucking day going to a goddamn set where his comic foil was Pam Dauber. He was happy every day. And then 2 divorces, and he ties a scarf around his neck.
Well, that's not what happened, and you know that.
What happened?
What happened was he it was a medical thing.
I know. I suppose he had it, but
he had a depression thing, and we know
depression.
We know that 30% of the people in this country are on some kind of medical meds, and that's why you're watching stuff and half the shit. And I'm talking to you. I'm talking to myself. I'm talking to all of us.
Are you well, you never had it manifest itself like I did. You're a
I
stronger
had a
person.
lot of stuff. I had a sister at 34. Die.
That's terrible. That is. I mean, look at the tragedy. You're actually an amazing story.
She died of a lot of mental health issues, and so we went.
But wait a minute. So 2
stuff.
sisters passed away.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
That really is terrible.
I'm hoping to bring my parents back so I can make them fuck and have more sisters.
Now, do you feel? I'm going to just ignore that. Do you feel that
I have the curse?
There's an afterlife.
Well, there's an after birth.
Listen, if you could stop, let's just talk serious. It's just me and you.
Dan,
turn off the...
Do you think there's an afterlife? Because I'll answer.
I'm living it. I'm living it, pal.
Right, you're in it right now because you're saying.
I OD'd.
You're a miracle incarnate, especially given even the past 2 fucking weeks. You're a miracle incarnate, correct?
Sure. Let me blow my nose. Yes. No.
How much was that? You just blew your nose. How much was that worth just now?
Enough to get me 3 to 5. Let me tell you something. I OD'd on bad coke and Jack Daniels at the Oakwood Apartments in North Hollywood when I was 28 years old. I was late for a sketch with Harry Connick Jr. in it at Mad TV. Some people said that had to do with the OD.
Artie, is it always in success that this happens to you?
I woke up. You're right. I'm afraid of success, which is why I'm fine with it.
Always when something great happens to you. Say that. I missed that. Sorry.
Of course, because you were saying something else that you thought of. I said I am afraid of success, which is why I'm comfortable with having you on the show.
Because I will never bring you success again.
Did you hear about that the Pope, when he visited a couple summers ago, he was upset that he missed the World Series, and they explained it was in October, and he said, no, the Little League World Series. Now, what are you? Do you have new material? You have all new material. Do you work with?
I'm more spoken word. I'm doing spoken word.
Oh, that's great.
I'm doing a lot of mime. I do.
Why don't we get a reading of Dirty Work together, like a cast, like they do it?
Comedy,
like Michael Fassbender could play me.
That'd be awesome. You'd have the biggest cock you'd ever dreamed of.
How about I said I was Steve Jobs' brother, Bo, and
you can play Steve Jobs. You can play blowjobs.
Wait a minute.
I think I don't know. I don't know if we have a reading of it. I think we should maybe. I don't know. Somebody should write it.
Hold on for a second.
I mean, Norm could sit down and start writing it.
You know why I want to do that? Because I've never read the script.
You never read Dirty Work?
Yeah, I'll tell you why. So my agent calls me up and says,
"Oh, you learned it phonetically." Didn't you?
My agent calls me up and says, Norm Macdonald wants you to be in a movie. It's a buddy comedy. You're the buddy, the second lead. Saget's directing. Chris Farley, blah, blah. And I'm going to go, what, am I not going to do it?
Right.
I was about to drive a cab. And I get to work with all these funny people. I met you. I met Norm, Farley. Adam Sandler came up for a little while. I got funnier. I became a funnier person because I met all you guys. Then I met John Stamos, and I became a way less funny person.
Well, it's hard. He's so hot.
There was. Do you think anybody banged Rebecca Romaine while Stamos was on the set?
No,
not even that midget.
She played a bearded lady. He was fine that week.
Do you remember? Do you remember the midget joke that somebody made in the front office about the call sheet? It just said midget 8 a.m.
No,
and you don't remember that? Okay, midget, did it? It said midget. So the agent of the midget calls his agent. This is a true story.
That was a Canadian mistake.
Paul something. And okay, somebody in the front office was the funniest guy ever because the agent screamed at Bobby Simon, said, he's the producer. He's a person like Norm. He has a name like Artie. The next day, it says Paul the midget. You don't weren't even aware of that. That's a true story. Paul the midget.
He was very good, by the way. It was that whole circus thing, and
well, midgets protested the film, but you just tilted a little up and you couldn't see the signs.
That's not true, but it would have helped us press-wise. Any kind of controversy.
How about the fact that all these college kids from like all these schools, like Ivy League schools, they were at the screening of this when for Vanity Fair, which calls it a cult classic.
Where were they just did that recently? Where were you, Artie, when the movie premiered? Where did you go that night?
Same place I was when Kennedy got assassinated.
Where?
Is Kennedy from Fox News dead? No. Where was I? I was. You
were on the grassy knoll. Is that what you're saying?
I was with Chuck Knoll. No, let me tell you something. I was in the rehab. No, I was in rehab.
You were in rehab.
I was. That when it.
Well, Norm and I we'd been editing the movie. Chris Farley tragically passed away.
He passed away.
I had just gotten divorced. I couldn't go to the funeral. I was having like a nervous breakdown on my own.
Yeah.
We went to the movie came out. It opened on a Saturday. We knew MGM was really behind it because all the posters said "coming soon."
Right. By the way, I heard this whole story on AMC. But
right. You told it to like Dinner and a Movie or whatever it's called. So then we went to like 10 theaters in L.A. Norm and I. We just went theater to theater. And went, we got a hit, brother. We got a hit. And we're like, we're this like.
Were you looking at the Godzilla numbers?
What?
Were you looking at the Godzilla numbers?
Yeah, exactly.
We're up against Godzilla. Simon goes.
We were also on against Michael Jordan's last 2 games with the Bulls.
That's right. Which I lost money. I lost money on Dirty Work and that.
And we were exactly. We were a 15-year-old boy's movie, and so that was the. You don't put us against Michael Jordan.
No.
But they didn't know. They didn't care. But anyway. Then I got the phone call from the producer the next morning, and it was like, and I don't know nothing about tracking or anything. It tells you you're dead. I get a phone call. He goes, "Sorry, buddy, didn't work out. Take care." And that was it.
Yeah, I couldn't get Bob Simons on the phone after that. He was doing Problem Child 6, The Moneymaker.
Yeah.
Can I tell you the greatest story though? Norm asked me to come help watch Farley when he, in between Dying and Dirty Work, he hosted Saturday Night Live, and he was a little out of control. So Norm said, "You got to come to the after party and help me watch Farley." That's how bad he was. I was watching him.
That's when he couldn't breathe.
Andy Dick. It was terrible. Andy Dick and Farley. I'm watching him for Norm, and they disappear.
Andy Dick's always good to have around as moral support.
They disappear in the bathroom. Okay, they come out 5 minutes later giggling. Norm, this is how funny Norm is. Norm comes back. I go, "Norm, bad news, man." He goes, "What?" Because I just saw Farley and Andy Dick go in the bathroom for 5 minutes and come out like giggling. I said, "Listen, there's only 2 reasons a guy goes in the bathroom with Andy Dick, and neither one of them are good." And Norm, without missing a beat, goes, "Holy fuck! I hope he's high." And good news.
Oh, it's so sad.
It is.
So sad.
He was 33 when he died. You know how much more funny that guy had left in him?
Well, we were talking. He and I were talking. I said, "You got to be in Breakfast of Champions. You're like the only person I could think that could play that part."
The Kurt Vonnegut book.
Yeah.
You don't think Bruce Willis nailed that? Wasn't he in that?
I just cared about the catering. That's all.
He should have been in Confederacy of Dunces. And did you want to direct?
Yeah, Confederate of Dunces is correct. You're right.
Did you want to do another film with Chris?
I wanted to do anything with Chris.
Yeah.
Chris was a great actor. Chris
He
was
really
a great
was.
guy. Chris was running from the devil. You run from the devil, or whatever. People run from our devils. I run from my fucking devils. I mean, it's
Right.
I look like a guy that you'd like your dentist, but I got the same shit. I don't think about killing myself. I got 3 kids that I love.
Do you think
so
if you turned out to be a dentist, by the way, and your children,
I would drill
wonderful
if I
people.
was a dentist, I'd drill the fuck out of you. And I would go through your mouth.
I had a dentist when I was a longshoreman working at the port in Newark. We had a union dentist, and I got sent there. True story. The guy, first of all, the lab coat couldn't fit over his gut. He had like a big beer gut, and it didn't fit him. And he puts his knee in my chest, and he's got like a drill, like he's gonna like drill a cavity. I go, "What are you doing?" And quote from my dentist at the longshoreman for the union. He goes, Come on. What are you, a pansy?
Oh, God.
He goes, a pansy? What
guy's wearing a pea coat while he's drilling you.
Did you have that? Letterman had that old bit. The NBC nurse was a big fat guy with a bad attitude. And Letterman went down to the NBC nurse, and the guy goes, "What's the matter with you, Letterman? Would you hurt your back carrying all your money?" Now, what about Letterman? Do you have a good rapport with him off?
I did the show like 13 times.
Yeah, but off camera. No one. He was an enigma and still is. Did you have a relationship?
Well, I knew him from when I started at the Comedy Store. He was one of the first MCs that brought me up, and he had dated a cousin of mine who's since passed away.
No kidding.
And I told him, I said, "Oh, my cousin, if you want, you can fuck her." And and he just thought that was the funniest thing he'd ever heard. 'Cause here's this 20-year-old kid coming up to him with a bouffant. I got a bouffant hairdo. I mean, they look like my mom.
You said that to him at 20 years old.
Yeah, and I said you can bang my cousin, and he
gave me great advice. Letterman
dinner
gave me,
with her. I mean, he didn't do anything.
Did he fuck her?
No, I don't think so.
Letterman gave me great show business advice though. I told him, you were calling me, and he said, "Change your number."
He could not have been nicer to me, and he liked dirty work also. He talked about it quite a bit.
Yeah, right, whatever.
And he talked about Farley.
I got news for you. He didn't get through the opening credits of Dirty Work.
No, I don't know.
He's a hateful man.
He said he liked it, and he used to watch the stuff.
Now, what about Stern? That scumbag. Do you still talk to him about me?
I haven't talked to him in a long time.
Yeah, and he's not your friend.
But how do you feel about him?
He's not your friend. I'm telling you right now. He's not your friend. I mean, and you go on that show, you're always hilarious on that show.
I haven't been on it in a long time. And,
wait.
And I had a book to sell, and he
didn't have you on. Did he have you on? No. You know why? Because Chelsea Handler's on there. Your thoughts on Chelsea Handler, real quick?
Well, it is a farewell business. It is it's how hot you are at the moment. I've got some good stuff happening now, so that's.
You always have good stuff happening. You've been a celebrity forever because you're fucking likable. You're funny. People love you. You have all the qualities of your dad, but you're not Willie Loman. You're Biff Loman.
I'm Shrimp Loman.
Was your father really a salesman? Is that true? I bet he was.
No, he was a food guy. He was a meathead. He was an executive of meat.
I can't see how somebody wouldn't love that guy. I really don't.
He was very, very lovable. He looked like Boris Badenoff, but taller. he had a mustache like somebody from some silent film era, and he would just smile and make perverted comments.
Right.
And he totally fucked me up as a human being.
So he's you with a mustache.
I was the mustache. I was the beard.
No,
my mother was the beard.
Was he a bad? Was he a bad father?
My father was the best lay I ever had.
My father was not. He would come up to my room, my dad, and if I said something wrong, he didn't spare the rod. He would come up there, he took his belt off, and of course I had to blow him.
Oh,
no. But did he wrap the belt around his dick?
No, I wrapped the belt around my arm.
How old were you when you lost your father?
Well, in Little League I lost him once, but we found him.
Yeah, I did that joke too, and nobody responded either.
I have the Saget joke book. I was he fell off a roof when I was 18 and became a quadriplegic, and 4.5 years later.
That's true?
Yes.
Was he doing Broadway? Was it Fiddler?
Yeah. By the way, I've told you fucking this 42 times. This is how much of a friend you are. I've told you this. Is that true? Yeah. Yeah, and of course we went on welfare because he had no insurance. He stole the ladder he fell off of. Did you read my book?
Yes. I read it. Of course I read it.
How about this, dude? I'm looking at your picture.
I'm a narcissist Jew. I read both your books.
How about this, dude? How about this? Last narcissist Jew, Hitler. By the way, I read both of your books.
Well, hold on, that's really good.
Of course, it's good.
Well, what is he, a quarter Jew, Hitler?
His mother was Jewish. He's like
His mother wasn't Jewish.
He's like Simon
He's
Wiesenthal.
He's a quarter Jew.
He's Simon Wiesenthal. All right.
You know, a quarter Jew, 4 quarters is $1. That's how a Jew looks at life.
I was going to do that, but I want to work. Listen, how about this?
You want to work? That's going to keep you from working where? On a cruise?
No, I don't want David Geffen to hear that one. How about this?
I would do that joke, but I wouldn't work.
I'm looking at your picture, and here's your book, Too Fat for Full House.
Oh, God.
Will you stop it? Look at another picture. Will you look at any other picture?
You look dude, you look heavy. My
look
buddy
at
Timmy.
my last tweet or whatever the fuck. Look at my Instagram. I look fine.
How many Twitter followers do you have?
It depends, huh? I got 2.5 million.
That's amazing. Now, how many of them are over 6?
All of them are fat and ugly.
And 6? You're fat shaming.
No, they're all spam bots.
Did you ever see John Stamos fuck a chick?
No, unless you include my butthole.
Did you ever go out after a taping and just go around Burbank there and fuck broads?
Yeah, that's what you do. You go out in front of
smokehouse
and you just fuck people in the street.
Did you go to the
What we would do is we would wait for the studio audience to cross Olive Avenue. And,
Olive Avenue. How about you?
And you just go, you walk into the parking lot and you just stand there as people are leaving. You make them blow you.
Nothing is more happening than Burbank after a taping.
I'm doing a Fuller House episode next week. The show's the #1 show on Netflix, apparently.
Do you get money for that?
Well, no, I get food stamps.
How about Saget is
They
the new
give me
black?
smoked fish and a hand job.
Saget is the new black. What about this? You go to in Burbank, you'd go bar hopping after a taping with the guy who played Bentley on the Jeffersons. He was the most those character actors were. But
He was fantastic.
how about this? Me and Norm were on the Warner Brothers set doing that sitcom. ER Friends was next to us,
Right.
And they would say all this. Me and Norm would be playing catch with a football outside our stage, and the tour guide would come. There's where they do Friends. That's ER. That's the Drew Carey. And me and Norm, they point to our stage and go, and that's stage 12.
That was a good show, Norm. That should have been around.
Were you on it?
I directed one of them.
That's right. That was great.
It was nice. I was going through a breakup. I think it's all I talked about all week.
No.
Your motivation is...
Who's the chick we got?
last night.
Let's tell the story about when we got the flat tire.
That's the best story that exists.
Yeah.
I am still sorry about it, Artie.
Well, no. You never paid me, first of all.
I paid for the tire. What else do I owe you?
You didn't pay for the tire.
Yeah, I did. I paid the guy $800.
You owe me a career. I'm kidding. Now,
How much do I owe you, Artie? How
greatest
much is this interview going to cost me?
This will cover it. This interview covers it. Thank you. But I let me tell you. So I get a brand new Cadillac Eldorado, which is what all Gindaloons do when you get a little extra money. That was my first real car, and
We're celebrating the movie.
celebrating the opening of the film. It came out. It opened. I think $3 million it made. Right.
Right. That's all total.
Norm would go on talk shows. It's a success, and they would go, "Really?" He go, "It made like $1 million."
Well, I actually say that MGM wrote me a note that tells me I owe them $30 million personally.
Oh, that guy at MGM, man.
It was a $12 million movie, and it looks like 12.2.
Yeah. So I get the car, and Norm and Saget are in New York. Who was that chick we got with? You were dating like an 18-year-old, and she was sassy. And
I don't know.
She had a good short game. And so we come back to New York, and Saget goes, "Let me drive your new car." I'm like, "Okay." So we go off the West Side Highway on 56th Street, which is called Pothole Lane, and Saget's doing 100.
I knew nothing about potholes. I didn't know families could live in them.
Saget's doing 100, and he hits a pothole, blows out my fucking tire, and he's all, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'll pay for it." So a Puerto Rican guy drives by in a tow truck, which of course is the start of every great joke. And there's a Goodyear place right on 11th Avenue, and he sees us. I mean, it's literally like he's fishing. He hangs out. He goes, "I'll be right back." So he goes, "I'll fix the tire," and Saget goes, "Whatever it costs, no problem."
So I go to an ATM and I get about $800.
While that happens,
$1,000
while you're at the ATM, Norm goes up to the Puerto Rican guy. No, Norm thinks of this. You come back with the money and you say, listen, the guy doesn't want any money, the Puerto Rican. Really? He's a big fan of Full House, and he just wants you to sign a picture for his daughter.
For his
daughter. So you're like, of course, I'll in a heartbeat I would do that. So, of course. So the guy, knowing nothing of this, comes back to get paid, and Sag goes
I give him the money.
Sag, no, you didn't. You said, how much? So what's your daughter's name?
And he goes, what are you talking about? And I said, I hear your daughter's a big fan of mine, and I wanted to give her, I'm going to sign a picture for her. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know who you are, man. I just want the $800. Just give me the $800.
Apparently he was Irish.
And then I look over, and you and Norm are pounding the pavement, laughing your ass. You're literally rolling on the sidewalk laughing. But I bottomed your fucking car out, and I feel terrible about it.
Me and Norm were laughing like Harpo and Chico. A.B. the Fishman, eh? Oh, my God, that was funny. And then you told me.
How did your car operate after that? Because you had a new tire.
Well, it disappeared. Let's just put it that way.
Your car disappeared?
It disappeared. I made a few phone calls.
I stayed in touch with the guy, though. Yeah, we actually did in Hillhurst, New Jersey. We did West Side Story together.
You were a great Maria.
Yeah, I loved her. I wanted to be Rita Moreno, but Rita insisted on playing it.
I just met a man named Bob Saget. Tonight.
When you're a Jew all the way.
I think I go back to Full House.
I want you on Fuller House.
What is Fuller House?
This show exists.
What is Fuller House?
Fuller House is the kids grew up. They're 40, and I'm still on it.
Good idea. How old Stamos?
Stamos doing great.
Is he in it?
Talking to him all day. He's adorable.
Is he in it?
He is. He's one of the producers also. He's one of the reasons the thing got made.
What is his public relations show? Jake's Choice didn't work?
He had a show that was a good show called Grandfather that didn't last.
No, he had a show where he plays a PR guy, too, a Puerto Rican.
Yeah, that's gone. But he
had
worked.
52 pilots. Best story he ever told on Stern. He said he was fucking Denise Richards. And he took her kids were having a party, and he went in the balloon guy's truck. He snuck in the balloon guy's truck. And he got out and fucked Denise Richards and got back in the truck.
Oh, God.
That true story?
Yeah, he told it on Stern. And Denise Richards did it because, it was a balloon truck. And no, he told that on Stern.
I was in a balloon accident once with my ex-wife and my kids.
It looks like your face was in a balloon accident.
And my parents, no, I'm not even, I had a balloon accident. I had a same accident on a bus once, but
Do you remember Norm's story where he fucked a retarded chick and then put her on a bus to get rid of her, and he didn't know where the bus was going?
No, wait a second. You can't call somebody a retarded chick.
He was sitting next to a retarded guy on a bus, he claimed, in Vancouver, and everybody was giving dirty looks. It was the 70s. He had that shirt on. I'm with stupid.
Oh, God. How do you get on a bus? You don't take a bus, do you?
I used to. Until that Rosa Parks bullshit happened.
I took a bus when I was in college at Temple University.
How about this? I do a porno movie, an offensive racial porno movie called Rosa Parks. Her pussy on your face.
Oh, God.
Well, I don't know what this. I don't. What am I supposed to do right now?
You're supposed to tell an anecdote.
Well, the anecdote would be that in the back. If you sit in the back of the bus, you like it in the rear.
No. The premise is like someone's sitting in the front of her pussy's in the front of the bus.
You know what's great is that our government is moving us along just swimmingly.
Now, what do you think about Trump? Honestly, did you go to that Hillary dinner at Clooney's?
I honestly think what we all think, which is we don't want to be lied to. We've always been lied to. Right. Government lies, news lies, and when you see someone say something and it's completely inaccurate, and then they deny saying it, it's like a 9-year-old. It's like just saying, my mother's saying, where'd you get that toy gun? Oh, I found it. I mean, it doesn't take a fucking seagull knows you're lying.
Yeah.
So,
well, he could be in the Groundlings because he's great with 140 characters.
Yes, he would not use yes and. I like watching him shake people's hands. That's my favorite thing.
He pulls people in like he's gonna fuck them.
I will admit, Artie, that I like getting my news from comedians, from the people that we know, from the people that we enjoy, and I'm enjoying the relevance I never understood the government. I didn't know who was in the cabinet. Obviously, they should all be in a cabinet and lock it up and drop it in the ocean. But I never knew I never knew anything. I'm not a smart guy. I didn't know political science.
Come on, you're a smart guy.
But I didn't know who's Speaker of the House. I didn't know all the different little bullshit things.
You told Shailene to sue Brillstein, right?
Say one more time.
Did you tell Shailene to sue Brillstein? That was a good move.
Absolutely.
Who are you more friends with, Brad Gray or Gary Shailene?
I love them both, and that was a difficult part of my life.
You're the first guy in the history of Brillstein Gray, right? Weren't you the first client?
I am. Brad Gray is my friend, and he is my first manager, and Gary Shandling was my dear friend. He's the first person that I met when I moved to L.A., and I introduced Gary to Brad.
Is that
and they
true?
were very close, and they had a lot of success together.
Well, you're saying this like a list. It's all exciting, interesting stuff. You're just listing it like groceries.
There's just shit that happens, and it's sad. And,
well, we're getting older now, man.
We're getting older, and Gary being gone will always be an albatross for me, and I will always have affection for him. And I love Brad, and he's like the godfather of my kids.
Is he?
He is. We're very close.
Good move.
And Gary was obviously one of the funniest people
really was
alive, and one of the best people that understood comedy. And I miss him. And
all right, we got it.
I was at the funeral, and I was sitting next to Norman Lear, who cumulatively his age is everyone in the room, and he's.
Was he wearing that hat?
I'm just trying to figure it all out, man. I'm trying to figure it all out.
Well, listen.
Because what you don't want. Do you have any relationships in your life that are split down the middle where people are estranged? Yes, you do. You got Howard. Howard is an albatross in your life.
No.
But Howard helped you a lot.
Of course he did. But what did I do? Go in there and not talk for 9 years?
Right.
Exactly. Thank you.
Right.
So you hate Howard too.
And all of us.
I don't hate Howard, but that red-haired cunt that's running the show. Your thoughts?
Who's the red-haired cunt?
You know what I'm talking about.
Oh.
I'm not going to bring it up. The Turk, Salazzo.
I thought you meant Trump for a minute. I got confused.
I'm kidding. Let's say no. Howard did everything for me. I wouldn't have this podcast in my living room.
Yeah, you wouldn't. Yeah, Howard helped make you famous, man.
Now of course he did. Now you're on.
But Mad TV is where you exploded out the screen with those curlers in your hair, screaming and yelling like a crazy fucking nut.
How about the time me and you opened up Jamie Masada's club in New York?
Oh my God! I don't think you can tell that story.
Of course I can.
Let's leave that one for the anals. Let's put that one in the.
I said nigger like 80 times,
oh,
but it was in a bit.
Artie,
it was in a bit.
Artie.
I stole Saget's best bit.
Okay, here it is. Ready? I'll tell my version without.
Well, hurry up! I'm going into withdrawals.
I have to tell it. So. Jamie Masada opened the Laugh Factory in New York next to Show West, which is a strip club.
Right.
And I wanted to take my daughter to the show, so I had to bring her through the not the strip club, through the places where guys are jacking off in booths, and I'm bringing my 18-year-old daughter through the back, and then guys are jerking off, and I'm like, Jamie goes, come on, buddy, we'll go through the back.
It's just like a party in the Malibu.
But he just had a kid, so I'm sure it's good. It'll be nice.
Did you say to Jamie, could you introduce my kid to Michael Jackson?
He had the kid rectally. Yeah, he gave that kid to Michael. Anyway,
gave him $10 million.
Yeah, I think this story alone can get him arrested.
Go ahead.
So he opened the club in New York 3 times, the Laugh Factory. He opened it with Dave Chappelle, Dane Cook, and I'm opening it 3rd. He says to me on the phone, buddy, come to New York, open the club. This is the guy that owns the Laugh Factory in L.A.
Do you think he meant open up, like put the seats down and set up?
It's going to be great. I didn't know that it had already been opened twice.
Right.
So I was told I was the grand opener, and it says on this, I show up 2 hours before the show.
Right.
The sign says Bob Saget and friends. I said, what are you talking about? What friends? Are you going on, Jamie? I got no friends. I get there, he goes, Artie's here. Artie, you're at the bar, you're drinking Jack, you're sitting there relaxing.
Of course.
You say to me that you're going to get on stage and you're going to do a racial exclamatory 25 times.
I told you you thought I was. I said I'm going to say nigger 25 times.
I said, Artie, that's just That's funny, man. I'll be right back. I'm going to go to the bathroom. Just wait for me. That's hilarious. Don't go on, Artie. I'll be fine. I'll do an hour and a half. Don't worry about it. I'll do 90. You just sit here, and then we can go out after and get something to eat. That's what I said. I go to the bathroom. I come back. Artie's on stage. He's already said the word for the 4th time. He does. You have everything but have a ticker tape counter. You do everything but literally count how many times you're saying it. You say it in slow motion. You say it in fast motion.
Well, put it in context. I was like Michael Richards. I was.
It was. It was worse. You say it in 30s vernacular, 20s vernacular,
Right.
1814 vernacular. You do it in contemporary vernacular. You don't even change it up. You don't even add an A at the end.
And Jamie has all press.
There's nothing good about it. It is the biggest mass of self-destruction since the weapons of the barbarians at the gate.
The next day I got the part in Elf, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely. That's how it all happened. So then 25 minutes go by. You actually have a moment of clarity. I think I've said it 25 times. I'm like, while this is happening, I don't know if you know this, the reporter for the Daily News, who is African-American, is walking out of the room before I go on. Jamie goes and looks at him and goes, "Where are you going, buddy?" And the guy looks at Jamie and shakes his head and walks out of the room.
And now Bob Saget.
I'm going, "Jamie, you threw me under the fucking trailway station. This is not a bus." I get on stage, and I learn, I'd been doing this for 30 years. I knew something.
Right.
I get on stage, you leave. There's not one person is clapping. It sounds like the end of Laugh-In.
I had a set at the comic strip.
I get on stage, I said, "Ladies and gentlemen," that was Artie Lange. "Thank you, Artie." I said, "This is going to take me 10 minutes. I said, "It's going to take me 10 minutes to get any response, and then I'm going to somehow entertain you." And by the way, the place was pretty packed.
Of course it was.
And they did not all leave.
Well, when I was on it was.
The sad part is only 12 people left, which is upsetting.
Well, listen, you're doing it. I will say this: if Rosa Parks was on the bus I threw you under, she'd be in the front.
It was, but
Did you dig it? But you dug out. I was trying to prove how great of a comic you were. I was trying to prove how great of a comedian you are.
Yeah, that's what you were doing. That's really good. Before you said the Walendas up, cut their feet off.
Jamie Masada.
But what you did?
Why he say that?
Artie,
Why he say that? I have papers here.
The joke of the whole thing is I've never stopped loving you. That's the crazy part.
Because I was making you look good, dude. It's like
no, you weren't.
Yes,
you were doing
you were.
racist, horrible stuff because you didn't know what you were doing because you were drunk.
No. I told you what I would do, and I did it. How many comedians do that? I said 25 times. I think.
No, exactly. But I think you overdid the 25.
I gave a bonus faggot.
But what you did do was I was concerned about you. When I got off stage,
Yeah.
I was just worried where'd you go.
We were in Show World. I was getting a lap dance from Kathy Griffin.
Go after he does that, and you did not look happy before you went on.
I was getting a lap dance from Kathy Griffin. It was Show World.
Well, boy, could she take a punch. But
By the way, did you ever see her without makeup? David Faustino.
she's actually looking very pretty, and so is he.
You're
They're
not.
both. David's very nice. I saw him at a gas station recently.
How much did you order from him?
No, he wasn't working there. He was pumping gas.
What'd you say? 50 unleaded?
Now, how is it we go around making fun of other people's careers, and yet ours are easily made fun of?
You got $50 million, 3 beautiful daughters. I'm sitting here with Dan. I'm broke.
That's not true. I don't have $50 million. I have.
How much you made? You got Full House and that other show on.
I have $2,000 more than I would have because I never paid you for your car.
Dude, you were on Family Matters and that other.
Yeah, I had Family Matters. I worked on Family Matters.
Yeah,
that was an African American show. I was great on it.
You're the same weight as the guy. No, you had 2 #1 shows, dude. You were Uncle Mark on.
Yes, and I was having a nervous breakdown, and his sister was dying, and I was getting divorced. But
now,
that
how did you do that?
I was making a ton of money to be able to pay for a funeral and a divorce, which are the same thing.
That's terrible. Well, I mean, you.
But I have 3 beautiful daughters, and that is the.
They are, and I met them. I met them
the
at the Friars Club, and they were so sweet. I knew them when they were little girls, and they grew up.
They loved seeing you, Artie. Artie, my daughters know comedy. And they know what comedians are, and they know they're tortured, and I'm their dad, and I'm probably the least kind of least tortured.
Have your kids ever met a comedian?
What?
Have your kids ever met a comedian?
What?
Have your kids ever met a comedian?
No, my kids have never met a comedian.
Go ahead.
No, because I'm their father.
Well, thanks for telegraphing it.
No, they've met comedians that I know, but they've never spent time with an actual real comedian because I'm their father.
Thanks for hailing down that cab of a joke. Go ahead.
So you're saying I'm not a comedian and my kids would have never met one. I just want to clarify this.
Yeah, and can you explain the knock-knock joke I'm about to do?
Knock, knock, knock.
No, knock-knock. You know who's there? Tig Notaro.
Where are you going to go with this?
Did you see her? She took her shirt off on her special.
I think she's wonderful.
She took her shirt off on her special. She looked like Christian Bale in The Machinist.
Well, he took his whole arm off.
Do you think she's funny? What's your favorite Tig Notaro joke?
That's the sound of one hand clapping.
What's your favorite Tig Notaro joke?
I just like her bravery and I like her lucidity. There's a new kind of comedy where people don't do what we do.
Yeah, it's called drama.
But people don't hit punchlines. You know, they're not hitting timing. They're just trying to say something true and trying to say something smart.
Right.
And I appreciate it.
So Gore Vidal would be like Richard Pryor now.
Boy, did he have a sweet... I got to tell you, he had a sweet asshole.
All right, well, listen, Bob. I first of all, I know it's life on the road. You're probably eating an $18 Toblerone.
Well, actually, what I'm going to do now is go see my daughter. I'm going to go visit my youngest daughter now.
I thought you would come with me. Jamie Masada's opening a new club in Brooklyn.
Yeah, I want to work. I'm actually going to be a stripper at his new club.
Listen, you... and by the way, he got terrible reviews. Jamie Masada opens Klan meeting on the West Side. Tell your daughter...
Jamie's married with a baby, so there you go. So,
Tell your daughter I said hi. I love you. Yeah, I mean, again...
I'm going to tell her you said hi and I love you.
Yeah.
She's going to fucking run for Mexico.
What if I... Well, there'll be a wall around it soon. You better get going.
And the big joke is the fucking Gulf of Mexico is 33% of where the wall's
I know.
It's like the joke is just our lives. The joke is the news.
You're right.
And it makes me happy to see Colbert, and it makes me happy to see John Oliver.
What a bullshitter! What a bullshitter you are.
What? No, I love that shit. That's all I'm watching. I can't watch the fucking news.
I'll tell you what. Whenever I talk to you, you're like, "There's a guy, John Oliver. I love him."
What? You don't like John Oliver?
No. Who is
Why?
he? Who is he? Al Oliver, I know.
Why don't you watch John Oliver? He's great.
God, he fall for that shit.
What's wrong with you?
He Googles Trump and writes jokes.
You gotta have a guy eat a cheesesteak and jerking off in public, and then you like it.
No, it's that fake, like he's a genius. It's Donald Trump on the internet.
Nice guy.
He makes jokes. He's got a team of writers that make jokes about beach balls coming in, like Trump. He goofs on Trump. What's easier than that?
You know what I'm going to do when I come to New York?
Goof on midgets.
I'm going to
say nigger for 25 times.
You and I are going to sit in front of a computer, and we're going to watch people that I think are good, that are doing something good, that are helping us, that are helping some people get through this weird time.
Let me fucking put that on my calendar. Me and you in front of a computer watching John Oliver marathon.
You make me miss you. You know that?
Wait a second.
That's a nice sound. Is that your asshole, your dick, or your face?
That's my Jimmy Durante impression if he was on Blow.
Jesus Christ, you sound like a guinea pig fucked the snuffleupagus.
All of a sudden, niggers are offensive, but guinea's fine.
What the fuck did you just say?
You just said guinea. You just said guinea.
Dude, am I going to get arrested for this podcast?
Listen, I love you.
When
are we doing the computer thing?
I'm going to come there. You and I have to see each other. Did you go to the Cellar? Is that where you go and play?
Wherever John Oliver is.
Do you go to the Cellar?
Yeah, of course I do.
Okay. So I'll come to New York in a couple months.
I go to the Comedy Closet.
What's that mean? What are you doing, the Dean Martin show? You just going over to the couch?
The Comedy Closet. No. Whatever you want to get together. I got a lot of North Korean material.
I go to the incubator. North Korea's doing good, man. They got
are you gonna thin up for some of these dates?
I got a whole bunch of dates I'm doing because I'm doing stand-up. You're out touring, right?
Yeah, but I don't get pompous enough to call it a tour. I just do dates. But you got to lose some weight for the special.
Well, I've got a new hour and 15 of material that I have to work because I want to get this special right.
But
so.
drop some weight for the material.
I look good. I look fine. I'm going to go wear Spanx and wrap it around your neck.
January 18th, 2017. Martin Luther King's birthday. You got fat.
Why did you? I did not.
Double life leading Bob Saget has zero regrets. From Full House to smutty stand-up, comedian is happy with career choices despite hometown critics. What does that mean?
I don't know. People make
where'd you
fun.
grow up?
I was looking on Facebook today,
Yeah.
and people were saying like terrible shit. Like, I
Oh,
don't
they
wanna
are.
see it.
They're terrible. Those people. Honestly.
So I'm going to like Alabama this weekend to do stand-up because they were like, I'll go there. It's supposed to be a great club, and I said, okay, I'm going to go there. And so I go to book it, and then people on Facebook are like, just like, this guy sucks. I'm like, I haven't seen that kind of shit in like, I don't even
It's
look at it
terrible.
normally.
It's terrible. It really is.
Why do they do that? What's wrong with that? They don't have a
Because they
life.
can't be funny, and they do it anonymously too. Which is
Well, the
terrible.
only thing I know is that I'm funny. That's
Yeah.
the only thing I know.
When I say the N-word 25 times, you know who it is.
I want to get as fat as you. How do I do it?
Well, you just did it, I think. Repeat whatever you did for the last 3 months.
Will you look at my last Instagram and tell me what the fuck's wrong?
Yeah, that's what I'll do. Then I'll suck a dick.
What?
Wait a minute. I want to look at Bob's. I want to get ready for Bob's John Oliver marathon.
So a person that looks at Instagram sucks a dick?
Well,
That's how
no.
you
If
look
I'm
at
looking
my-
to see if you're heavy or not. Who am I, fucking head of hopper?
No, I'm not going to lie to you. I need to lose about 180 pounds. But
Yeah. So get rid of the wife.
I need to lose like 15 pounds.
How much does your wife weigh? Your girlfriend weigh?
My ex-wife, she weighs 2 pounds. I don't know the thing.
You know, I told my mother.
I was married to Thumbelina. She used to climb my penis like the fucking Empire State Building.
My mother makes me so anxious, and I overeat. I told since the day I met my mother, I put on 280 pounds.
Well, you eat at night. That's the problem.
Doesn't even know the punchline. All right, listen. I
All right,
what hotel? What four
caused me.
seasons are you getting a shave at today?
I'm holding my stomach in right now. I can't even see anything. It looks like
You're
no
holding
fat.
your stomach in. Are the Sklar brothers there helping you?
I got no fat on me whatsoever.
Yeah. Well, your jokes do.
If you were laying on top of me, I'd have a lot of fat on me.
If you were laying on top, I'll tell you what. Enough about Elliot Spitzer.
You know what's good about us? We would never have gay sex together.
That's right, because you're abroad.
That's right. I'm a woman.
Hey, where are you going to be next? Let's get the plugs out. So
Well, I'm going to Hoover, Alabama this weekend because I've never been there, and I figured I might as well, figure a good place, take my own life.
Oh, there's been a lot of rope sales are up 2%.
No, it's called the Stardome. It's the Stardome. It's a good place.
It's those star. Okay, but listen, I tell anybody out there, Bob Saget, you will not see a better comic. He is so great. He's my friend. I love him.
I love you. I love you, Artie.
I do, absolutely. Me and even though I thought you were better thinner.
Artie.
Yeah.
Artie. I look good in all the stuff. I'm playing the Wilbur in
Boston.
I'm playing Charlotte. I'm playing Annapolis. I'm playing Irvine. I'm playing Toronto. It's all
Why are
on
you
my
doing
website.
all this? Hey, Toronto, you going to go back to the Four Seasons or to the room you banged trailer?
No, they closed that hotel. They opened a new one. I didn't bang nobody. I had divorce papers in the safe. I wiped my ass with my own divorce
I
papers.
really
Look,
miss Saget.
Go
Halfway
to
through
my
that shoot.
Instagram. I'm sick. By the way, Artie, I'm 60 years old, for fuck's sake. What do you want me to look like? Fucking
I'm
Ichabod
saying.
You want Ichabod Crane? What do you want?
You look 70. I want Bob Crane.
I look like Bob Crane. I look like I was hit in the head with a pipe.
Can I be your Bob Crane friend?
Yeah, I want you to tunnel underground out of Nazi Germany up my asshole.
How about that? Hogan's Heroes was.
That Gilbert and I had the same bit about it at the same time, which was, this is the pitch meeting for Hogan's Heroes. Okay, they're in a death camp, but they're with nice Nazis, so they kind of don't want to leave. So every time they escape, they try to get back in, and we got a dumb one that goes, "I know nothing, I see nothing." And
That works.
Gilbert, there's nothing like Gilbert. I love Gilbert.
I bought Warner Klemper a house.
I talked to Gilbert. I did his podcast. You ever do that?
Yeah, about 50 times.
Okay. Boy, it sounds like you got a full schedule. So I said to Gilbert,
I got a full house.
I said to Gilbert on the air, I said, Gilbert, did your grandparents go through the Holocaust? He said no. I said, did your parents go through the Holocaust? He said, no. I said, Gilbert, were you violated as a kid? Did something happen? He said, no. And I said, then why? And he started laughing like a little penguin.
You know what? Let me tell you something. They never got involved with that. Because you know what the Holocaust?
Oh, it's very expensive. It's $2.
Listen.
But it's got to be New York water. The bread's not good otherwise.
This has been a great... I got to go to Gary Shandling's grave and try to get him to stop turning over.
Where are you going to go now? I want you to go somewhere and eat a half a pound of hot mustard.
I'm interviewing Dave Coulier.
Are you going to call Dave right now?
It's Full House Thursday.
Dave's not going to want to talk about the same subject matter.
Now, isn't it true that you were the one who... were you the guy who was banging Alanis Morissette or something? What's the story?
No, Dave dated Alanis, and Alanis wrote a song
and
about three guys, and Dave's one of the guys mentioned in
Will
the song.
she go down on you in a
theater? He said that never happened, but I was at Dave's house when she said, I hate to call you during dinner. She actually said that.
How about, did Dave write the ironic song?
Yes. That's, yeah.
Did he write the part? It's like rain on your wedding day. It's like matter. John Oliver talking about Trump.
Here's what I want to say, and I think all your listeners feel the same way, because people love you. And the people that don't love you, they can go fuck themselves. But
it's weird if they're listening.
Well, you and I, we got to stay in touch, and I'm really glad we did in the past couple weeks. By the way, that meant a lot to me. Getting a text from you meant a lot to me.
Well, I wanted to know, you didn't text me how you doing. You're the only friend who didn't. I said, well, Bob, what's going on?
What the fuck are you talking about?
Did John Oliver do a bit on it?
I don't know what the fuck you were on. You were on fucking ice cotton candy, because I was texting every fucking couple hours what's going on.
No, you had the old number.
I had the old number. I had the new number.
There was a Coke dealer in Patterson getting those texts.
I think you answered me through Twitter, direct messaging. I think that's how you finally said, thank you, Bob. You're the only one that cares about me. And then you fucking blanket that. Then you send it out to every other of your 400
What is it like going to high school with a last name that rhymes with faggot? What is that like?
Well, I have a joke about it. It's a good joke. You want to hear the joke?
Go ahead.
A lot of kids called me Saget the faggot, and to get back at them, I sucked their dicks. That's what I did. I must have sucked 500 dicks one year.
That's not getting back at them.
No, I didn't know that. I got it wrong.
No teeth.
But here's the thing. I just want you to be well, and I want you to get through
life. I'm in withdrawals. Can I go?
I want you to get through life. I want you to get through it. I want you to live old, man.
There's a Mexican kid in a Toyota Corolla waiting downstairs for 20 minutes while you're doing dick jokes.
What's the punchline?
There's no. I wish there was one.
A Mexican kid's in a Toyota Corolla.
Yeah, well,
and
that's
then he says to his father, "Why am I in the trunk?"
So give your dates.
I just want you well. I want to always. I don't ever want to lose you. You don't want to lose me.
I don't.
I'm gonna lose a little water weight. You're gonna go get some checkups. You're gonna make sure your butthole's good. You're gonna eat a little healthier. I don't know. I think I'm out of line now, but I just love you, Artie.
I love you.
Did you hang up? What were you taking a shit in the urinal? What are you doing?
Not a pizza came.
Oh, the pizza came. A man spills his heart. A man spills his heart to his friend. You get up and leave.
Well, what am I going to do? Make the guy wait? He was telling me he loved me too.
I am the biggest fucking sap loser.
The guy was telling me how he blew. The guy had a bit about blowing friends in high school too. I'm sorry.
You lured me in.
By the way,
shit on me.
The pizza guy also loves John Oliver.
I love you, Bob Saget. Hold on a second. Let me get a pizza.
Well, neither one of you have gluten.
Yeah, did you get a gluten free? Is it pepperoni? Is it pepperoni?
Anybody named Roni? Pepperoni.
Well, I envy the next girl that gets to make out with you.
Well, don't you have a fucking green energy drink from Gwyneth Paltrow?
No, that's my fucking pancreas.
Well, you better start drinking them, Jesus.
Have you had your body checked? Have you had your pancreas checked? Are you okay?
Yeah, I just had pancreatitis.
And that's great.
And now I'm fine.
But they cleared it.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm. By the way, the new show I'm on is 600 Pound Life.
Okay. Okay, I'll try to lose some of that weight too. I love you, Artie.
Hey, buddy, this pizza ain't gonna eat itself. I love you.
Okay, I'll call you back in an hour.